All right, everybody. I would like to welcome DIY Investing to the show. Very excited to have him on. Great page himself. Got a lot of good topics to cover today. Um, my first initial question is, you kind of have like a like some sort of like podcast of yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I started DIY investing today. It's a community online, and so I'm Opie Thomas here just to give you a bit of background. I used to work as a stockbroker on Wall Street, and last couple years I've been building businesses, investing in companies, and recently I thought to take my experience and turn it into information that people can use essentially to get themselves started with investments or learning about stocks. So that's where I started to think about just getting on video. I have a course, an online course available on Skillshare. That's it's just like PowerPoint slides with some audio, and with so much interest into stocks now, I thought, okay, it'll be a great opportunity to get on Instagram or IGTV and connect with people that are talking and learning about stocks and investing, and then also to share what I've learned and how I got started and anything that I think could help others to start investing and learn about stocks too.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. It's great spreading good knowledge to to the people. Um, and as far as overall investments go, what specifically do you like to invest in? And what would you say are the hottest stocks out right now?
Yeah, I think I'm actually a big fan of I'm a big fan of Airbnb right now. I think that their IPO is really interesting and their outlook on the future. I think any company that's thinking about how uh, transportation uh, and how consumer behavior is going to change over the next 5 to 10 years. I think any of these companies are really interesting to look at because they're going to be the ones that are going to adapt the most to any changes in the marketplace, whether it's domestic or global. So I think a company like Airbnb is really hot stock to look at.
Yeah.
I also think the cannabis stocks are great stocks to look at. I'm looking actually recently built a position in a grower. I mean, it's SNDL and
Yeah.
Sundale Growers. So just took a position in them recently, and see today they had a nice increase, and you know looking at what the marketplace will look like in the next couple of years, and investing in companies that are positioned to benefit from what I think are going to be some changes in the marketplace in transportation and also consumer behavior. And so Airbnb, Sundale Growers, I think are two hot stocks right now that I'm definitely watching.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually funny because I was telling my friend last night who just started an account,
Mhm.
starting to invest right now, like from scratch, about sundational growers and how just how you it's so cheap right now and just
Yeah.
they only have room to grow. So if you want to
Mhm.
go value and marginal, then I mean that's a good stock to invest in right now. And also, I told him that you like what you said, you have to plan for the future, not for the past, like what you think is going to be useful tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's value in the technical approach, and it's very it's a very big practice right now. You can gain a lot of short-term momentum, short-term returns on technical strategies. So there's definitely a place for that. What I like to invest in is takes a book from the Warren Buffett and Paul Graham, Charles Munger approach of value investing. So I like to I like to use value investing when I'm selecting companies, and then I like to use take the technical approaches when I'm trying to price my orders. So when I'm trying to get the right price and a good price and trade the stocks, I'll use a more technical strategy there. But when I'm thinking about the companies that I actually want to and be invested in and build positions in, I
Yeah.
like to think about value investing.
Yeah, it's always a good approach. Um, you said that you worked on Wall Street. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How the experience was?
Oh man, it was definitely an experience. I something I dreamt about doing for since I was 13 in the eighth grade. I wanted to work on Wall Street, and I had an opportunity uh, about say 8 years after that to actually work on Wall Street with a firm that reached out and we had to take the exams, the regulatory exams. So got licensed with the Series 6 and the Series 7, Series 66 and the Series 7, and worked in a firm in Midtown, and then moved to start my own practice in a firm on Wall Street, and raised money from clients, built a practice, was on a team managing different teams, but ranging from accounts from about $1 million to advising and researching stocks for accounts about $50 million on through managed through a team of stockbrokers. And so we were always just looking at what stocks that we were going to invest our clients money in and bring new clients into. So got a lot of training and in-depth experience into portfolio management, picking stocks, looking at the key statistics and key metrics to identify the right opportunities in the stock market. So that was one of the great experiences of my life, and just going through the process and gaining these skills. And working as a stockbroker and working on Wall Street and being around uh, what's being around conversations about the marketplace constantly. It was definitely a really great experience. And I actually dropped out of college and went to Wall Street. So I was self-taught. I taught myself pretty much everything I knew in the stock market up until that point, and then started to learn with more experienced brokers who had been in the business for 15, 20, 30 years, and have built really big books of businesses. And so we were able to just learn and train amongst the best in the country. Yeah.
I also what I wanted to ask you is somebody just starting out from scratch, every day, every average person paying bills, getting by. Uh, what are the best ways you would say to grow your portfolio?
Yeah, I think well, big part is going to depend on how much you're investing, and if you're just starting out, I don't recommend putting in all your investable capital. I would say take the majority. Maybe you can take two approach. You can take one where you take the majority of what you can invest and you put it into things such as index funds, mutual funds, a place where you can gain a consistent return annually. So say consistent 10%, 15% annually, and then take a portion of smaller portion of what you can invest. I would say a portion that you can afford to lose, and I'll start to explore and experiment with more high risk, high return investment strategies such as options, day trading, swing trading, so and trying to test out different technical approaches as well. So I think that by doing that consistently for about a year to 2 years can really help a beginner's account grow very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good advice. Also wanted to know if you invest in any real estate.
Not at the time, no, no. Real estate is a great investment though, but right now, it's most of my investments are in equities, yeah, company
Yeah,
equities. How about you?
yeah.
How about you? Are you into real estate or other investments at the moment?
I'm trying to get into it. I've been looking around like as far as just in the neighborhood on Zillow, um, going to open houses. I'm working on getting my license. But right now I don't really have, the capital to flip and sell at the moment, but I'm more of trying to learn and be a student right now of real estate,
Mhm. Yeah.
and learn from the people that know, more than me, agents out there, people who do home loans, refinancing, just talking to them, just trying to get the knowledge.
Cool. Yeah, real estate is really interesting. Something I want to look into more as well.
Yeah. And what would you say are your best, overall investments?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I had held investments in Apple when they were at about 300 billion market cap, a couple of years ago, and now they're over 2 trillion market cap. So that was a great investment. I I was involved in selling investments in Bitcoin when they were at about $20 to clients. So those were some really great investments as well. And I didn't own any for myself at the time, at that time, but we did sell to clients. So some clients did really really well, and we did well because of them. So uh, those were really good bets. And of course Tesla, that was good as well on Wells Fargo. But yeah, it's had these are over several years though. So but those are companies that over time have really grown. Uh, let's say over the past 5 years or so, have really grown. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would tell people to be a long-term holder at the same time
Yeah,
for
I think that looking for companies where you can build a substantial position over time, and then take the profits when they're there, because stocks fluctuate, right? They fluctuate in value, since they can get really high and go to their lows, and that's in the short term, in 6 to 12 months. But so you can trade and book profits and within those time frames and reduce your cost average. But then also over the course of 3 to 5 years, you can build a position. So when you take profits, you can then reinvest those profits at a lower price to bring down the cost average in that position, and then just repeat the process as you grow a position in that company.
yeah, yeah, you're on a budget and you want to maximize, I like to say maximize the money that you have, as far as profits, whatever. If you act like you've never seen the profits and you reinvest the profits when it dips, I would
Mhm.
say it's, you know, yeah. I also, how do you feel about like green energy and the EV sector?
Yeah, yeah. I think those are the sectors that are well positioned to adapt to the changing marketplaces in the next couple years. So our change in vehicles, electric vehicles, as that grows, uh, I think those industries and sectors are going to benefit a lot. The I think anything green right now too, because of the politics in the country, is now supportive of that industry. So I think that the green sector is going to be an industry that's going to have a lot of earning opportunities in them.
Yeah, that's great. Um, I agree with that. And my
Yeah.
last question to you is,
Mhm.
how can you maximize the money that you can invest when you're on a budget and you're paying bills every month.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the most important thing, because I've been there too. I think is only invest in what you can afford to invest. Even if it's even if it's much less than what you would like to invest, I think it's important that whatever you invest into a stock market, you're able to keep it there for a sustained period of time, so you don't need to take it out. So it would be better to put in, let's say you, it would be better to put in $500 that you know that you can keep it there for at least 12 months than to put in $1,000 that you might have to take out 500 later on that year. Because with that 500, you can keep that money in there, and you know that you can grow that over time. Whereas if you're putting that thousand in there but you need it, it's going to be very difficult to make the best decisions about what to invest in. And you want to be able to keep the money in there so it can grow over a period of time. And then I think it would be good to just to add to it as you're able to. So I think that's the important thing, is invest what you can, and what you can afford to invest. And I think that's the best place to start. And then and then like I said, start off putting the money into things that are going to give you a consistent return, and grow a substantial position into those kinds of investments.
Well, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you dropping great knowledge for everybody. Um, I want everybody to check out the page. That's DIY Investing Today.
Thank you, John.
Um,
Appreciate it. Yes, this
and
was
thank
great.
you, and stay safe.
Thank you. You